8 explosive Coronation Street spoilers for July 14 to 18, escape, heartbreak, and a shocking return. Next week in Coronation Street, chaos erupts as Mick stages a dramatic prison break. Debbie clashes with Carla. Audie faces emotional turmoil after a robbery. And a familiar face returns to the cobbles, catching everyone off guard. 1. Mick breaks free, but at what price? Desperate to keep his family together, Mick risks everything in a daring prison escape. Already incarcerated for the murder of Craig Tinker, Mick becomes increasingly anxious after learning his wife, Lou, was behind the attack that left Gary in a coma. Her failed blackmail scheme has landed her in custody, and now their son Brody is caught in the middle. With Lou now behind bars, Brody discreetly contacts Mick in prison to update him on the family's worsening situation. In a chilling moment, Mick instructs Brody to keep his burner phone close. Something big is about to go down, and Brody may be pulled in deeper than he ever imagined. As the week kicks off, Mick anxiously awaits a message on his burner phone. On the outside, Brody shows up at number 4 hoping to see his sisters Joni and Shanice, who are staying with Tim and Sally. But when Sally reveals that Tim has taken them to a taster day at Weatherfield High, Brody frantically alerts Mick about the unexpected change. At Weatherfield High, Joni struggles with cruel remarks from classmates about her imprisoned parents. Visibly distressed, she begins to break down emotionally. Concerned, head teacher Mrs. Crawshaw contacts Sally and asks her to collect Joni early. Back at the police station, alarms sound as news breaks that Mick has successfully escaped from custody. PC Jess wastes no time interrogating Lou about her potential involvement. But Lou insists she had no part in the escape plan. Elsewhere, Daniel attends a job interview at Weatherfield High, but his routine meeting takes a terrifying turn when Mick suddenly appears, demanding to see his daughters. When told Joni has already left, a desperate Mick locks Daniel and Mrs. Crawshaw in the office and bolts in pursuit. As factory workers unwind at the Rovers, Sally decides to give Joni a private tour of the factory, but they're unaware that Mick has returned to Weatherfield and is being hunted by Kit. In a tense showdown, Mick storms into Carla's office, cornering Tim and Sarah just as Kit bursts in. A confrontation is imminent, but can Kit stop Mick in time? The explosive clash leaves Kit critically injured and rushed to Weatherfield General for emergency surgery. As Bernie, Gemma, and Sarah anxiously keep vigil at his bedside, new concerns arise. Brody has vanished without a trace. Could Mick have escaped with his children in tow? Amid the chaos, Nick grows increasingly worried about his son Sam, who was caught in the crossfire of Mick's school invasion, though Sam shrugs off the incident during a tense conversation at the bistro. It's clear he's deeply shaken. Later, Hope reveals that Lily locked herself in a classroom during Mick's rampage, leaving Sam exposed and alone. Outraged, Nick confronts David, demanding he deal with Lily's disturbing behavior and abandonment of her cousin. Meanwhile, Lauren begins to let her guard down around Audie. After weeks of doubting his intentions, she starts to see Audie in a different light. Last week, she panicked when he gifted her an air fryer and offered help moving into her new flat, unsure if it was generosity or something more. Though Audie is still haunted by guilt over accidentally spiking Lauren's drink at a party after she unknowingly took his LSD-laced beverage, his feelings for her are sincere. Shona's comment that men only want one thing rattled Lauren, but Shona later reassured her that Audie is one of the good ones. In a bid to make peace and push past her own fears, Lauren invites Audie to join her and Frankie for dinner. She wants to apologize for pushing him away and test the waters of something more than friendship. Audie happily agrees to dinner, unaware that Lauren is beginning to develop serious feelings for him. As the two grow closer, will this unexpected romance bloom or be doomed before it begins? 5. Debbie declares war on Carla over property deal. Tensions flare at the hotel as Debbie fumes upon discovering she's been gazumped in her bid to buy number 6, and she's convinced Carla is behind the underhanded move. Debbie had set her sights on securing the house with partner Ronnie, hoping to be closer to brother Kevin during his cancer ordeal and her own ongoing battle with dementia. But Carla's interference has thrown a wrench into those plans. As Debbie vents her fury to Ronnie, he's unaware just how far she's prepared to go to snatch the deal back in her favor. In a bold and wildly inflated move, Debbie submits a significantly higher offer for the property in a desperate bid to outmaneuver Carla. Ronnie is horrified and pleads with her to reconsider. But Debbie stands firm, proudly declaring her business instincts. Ronnie, alarmed by the emotional motivations behind Debbie's move, turns to Kevin for support. He explains that Debbie's erratic decision-making stems from concern over Kevin's health. Unaware, Kevin has recently received the all-clear and is hiding it to protect Abby. Torn by guilt, Kevin urges Debbie not to make drastic choices on his behalf. But with emotions running high, will Debbie take his words to heart or double down? 6. Audie left shaken after violent robbery at corner shop. Later in the week, chaos hits when Audie is caught in the middle of a terrifying robbery at the shop. Forced to empty the safe at wrench point, he gives chase as the thief flees, desperately shouting for help. Across the street, Carla and Lisa witness the commotion. But while Carla reacts, Lisa is frozen in place, unable to intervene. When PC Jess arrives to take Audie's statement, he describes the terrifying ordeal and confirms the robber escaped with a staggering £6 in cash. Audie is left feeling humiliated and guilt-ridden, especially knowing Dev trusted him to look after the shop during his absence. But twin sister Asha is quick to comfort him, reminding Audie that he's the victim, not to blame. At least, Audie notes, the shop is covered by insurance. Yet Bernie, ever perceptive, senses that something about Audie's behavior doesn't quite add up. Could he be hiding something? 7. Dev stuns with sudden homecoming. Just as Bernie and Audie begin to process the aftermath, they're floored when Dev unexpectedly walks through the front door. Dev had jetted off to India back in February to help Aunt Geeta, who had suffered a nasty fall. Now, back in Weatherfield, he's eager to be brought up to speed, but will Audie and Bernie reveal the full truth? 8. Carla alarmed by Lisa's unsettling behavior. Meanwhile, Carla is left troubled by Lisa's reaction or lack thereof during the robbery. She can't understand why Lisa didn't act when the thief ran right past her. Lisa, clearly on edge, snaps back defensively and shuts down any attempt at discussion, only deepening Carla's concern for her friend. Lisa's recent struggles haven't gone unnoticed. After a harrowing period that unearthed painful memories surrounding her late wife Becky and colleague Craig's death, she was ordered to attend therapy. The situation worsened when Lisa neglected to give Brody his epilepsy medication while he was detained, leading to a seizure. She was pulled from active duty and placed on desk work pending therapy completion. However, Lisa barely engaged with the mandatory sessions, dismissing them as nothing more than bureaucratic red tape. The moment Becky's name came up, she shut down entirely. Now rejecting every form of support, Lisa remains emotionally barricaded. But how long can she bottle everything up before it all unravels? Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.